today we have on our website we have a special guest, Federal Commissioner of FSE movement in Europe, Martin Hafner. And I would like to ask him some questions which I think would be of great interest to all our scouts, scout boys and scout girls in Ukraine. The first question is what are main aims of FSE movement in Europe on the next scouting year?
Thank you, Taras, for welcoming me in Ukraine. I have spent 3 days together with you, and it is a really great pleasure for me to have seen all the guides and scouts of your association. I met first Ukrainian scouts in 2012 during a training camp in Germany, and now it's great to see what happened in the meantime, what you did, and what is really going to develop. So it was a really great pleasure for me to be here. And I think the Ukrainian Association has an important mission in our union, but let me first give you an idea what is the vision and the direction of our union. I think when I started my mission as a federal commissioner 1 year ago in 2012, there were 3 main efforts for me I had to fulfill. The first effort is to discover what is happening. So the last year I was traveling very much all about Europe. I went even to Canada in order to see our sisters and brothers in Canada. For the second step, and I think this is one of the main priorities of this year, we must find out how we can even get better in our scouting, not only from a professional, from a pedagogical point of view, but also from a point of view of how to organize our associations, how to be strong associations, reliable partners for the parents, reliable partners for the church in their mission to tell people about Jesus Christ. And as the third step of my mission, I see we must deepen our pedagogy. We must better understand why do we go to the forests with the boys and girls? Is this something for the 21st century? Is it not more useful just to sit in front of the computer, exchange via internet, via the social media? Why do we go to forests? Why do we live in nature? And I think we have to dig, we have to find out. And when we are at the bottom, we will arrive at the doctrine of the church about man. We will find out the link between Christian anthropology and our scout method, between the social doctrine of the church and scouting. I think there are very close links, and the social doctrine of the church and Christian anthropology is really fundamental for our scouting, is justifying our scouting, and this is what I want to discover with all general commissioners of our union, of the 20 countries, the leaders of the 20 countries in our union during these 3 years.
And what do you think, on your point of view, maybe the main mission of Ukrainian Scoutism, of Ukrainian Scouting, and what Federation of Scouts and Guides of Europe want to see wants from Ukrainian Scouting? What are the aims from the point of view of Europeans?
I think Ukraine has a real role in the providential plan, in the plans of God for our union, as it is true for every country. The first time I was asked this question was by the Belgian Association. And I think we will get a first answer, a very first answer during our Eurojam that is going to be held next year in France, where we will have 10,000 boys and girls, and I'm very glad that Ukraine will do all to bring 100 boys, to bring as many girls as possible to this very big camp in France, where they will meet with 20 other nations in one camp, in one forest. They will have one pilgrimage. They will exchange during many days. And what can Ukraine bring within such a camp? It's a question, what is the specificity for such a camp in this specific case? And it's also in the more global sense, what can Ukraine give to our union out of such a camp? And I think there's some very interesting and important thing. Why do we have this brotherhood? Every brotherhood, every Christian brotherhood does not serve to stay among ourselves. Every brotherhood has to serve to be open for the whole world. As our Holy Father Pope Francis says, we must go to the poor people. We must give them our heart. We must go to places where Christ is not known, where Christ is not very present. And in this special case, all our associations have very specific tasks. I think we must create a brotherhood around Christ. Christ must be in the middle of our brotherhood. Then we must have strong brotherhoods, strong relations among ourselves, and we can spread out to the whole world. And we can bring Christ, who is in our center, we can bring him to the young people, also to parents that are not in contact with him. This morning your General Commissioner told me about a family whose parents discovered to marry in the church because their children are members of the Guides and Scouts of Europe in Ukraine. It's an incredible thing. It's a gift, it's a grace of God for this family. And especially as in an important part of Ukraine, you still live in an atmosphere of strong faith, of people who go to church, who live in a strong relation with God. I think you have to strengthen this gift, and you have to bring it to your brothers and sisters in Europe. In Western Europe, people are rich in terms of money, in terms of material aspects. But yesterday I told to your girls' General Commissioner, you are rich in faith. You are rich in Christ. And we can share Christ. Every time when we share Christ, we get deeper in our faith. Love is strengthened in our own lives. And I think, so Ukraine is very close to the heart of Christ, if I see our union as some kind of body. So I think Ukraine is very close to the heart, where faith lives. And I strongly invite you to bring this faith to your brothers and sisters, your magnificent liturgies, to our international meetings, to share what you experience in Christ, to share what you see in your societies. And I think it will be good for all our countries, all our boys and girls, all over Europe.
And to help the children to continue this faith in Ukraine, especially, even in future when our country will be wealthier and will be richer. And I think Ukraine has a special also situation because in Ukraine there is strong tradition of Orthodox Church and of Catholic Church and Greek Catholic churches. And we have scouting in all these branches of religion. And I think those with Ukrainian experience of the scouting in these three different religions could be useful even for Western scouts organizations.
Our scouting has traditionally been an ecumenical movement. For me, it is providential. When we started this movement in the 1950s, in 1956, it was the first federal commissioner was an Orthodox Christian. There was a strong idea of living as brothers and sisters among Orthodox Christians, Protestant Christians and Catholic Christians. But at this time, no one seriously or very clearly thought about the relations with the Orthodox Church, because Europe was divided. But our founders, in the very initial times, they already had in their minds that they want and have to be prepared to develop our union for the times when Europe gets a free continent, when people have the liberties to decide by themselves what they want to do in their lives. And now we live in not in a perfect world, but the liberties, I would say, are as big as they have never been. And now it's up to our movements, up to all Christians, to give people an idea how they can fill their liberty.
In the right way.
In the right way,
Yes.
in Christ, because only Christ can fill our hearts. Money cannot fill our hearts. Money can give us a short emotional happiness, but in the final end it's only Christ who can make us happy. And for this reason all Christians are called, and all Christians are more called than ever to give a witness of unity. And all churches must give an effort to find unity. It's not easy. Unity cannot be created, cannot be produced with a machine, cannot be produced by man. Unity is a gift of God, but we know what we have to do for it. We know that we have to take our freedom, we have to take our free will, and we have to decide that we want to give all efforts for unity. And as we know about it, I think we can do it. And scouting can help to build these bridges among confessions without neglecting that there are differences. We never talk about just having one liturgy for everyone without difference. We are talking of, we have liturgy for Catholics, we have liturgy for Orthodox Christians, we have liturgy for Protestants. But in our daily life, in our prayer outside the liturgy, it must be possible that we can serve to the poor people as Christians in one unity. And poor people are not only people who have nothing to eat. Poor people are those who are lacking Christ, who do not know about Christ. These are the real poor people. And we can give this witness and serve together in one effort to give people Christ, to help them not to be hungry.
Okay, thank you, Martin, for these thoughts. Thank you for your visit. Hope that with the help of internet, your thoughts could be spread among all our scouts in different regions of Western Ukraine and even of Central Ukraine. And hope to see you, I think, next year on our pilgrimage, or national pilgrimage, which will held. And I think I think that this pilgrimage will be at the same date as this year. This date are not they are not changing, because this is a great religion holiday in Ukraine. So I think it will be again from 10th till 13th of October, and we are inviting you for this pilgrimage.
Fine. Yesterday I noted the date, and thank you very much for welcoming me.
Thank you.